Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Pace Farm, Hero Hoists, and Martin's Panel Masters.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Classic Restos, where the cars are the stars and the people that own them tell the stories. And on this week's episode, it's back to regional New South Wales, and you'll see more right after this. It's thanks to Shannons. Ask about multi-policy discounts and sign up for the Shannons Club. Call 134646 for a quote and see more at shannons.com.au. And Hare and Forbes has the range. Buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. You know what? If you made this scene behind me black and white, threw in two old Holdens and an Austin A40, you'd be literally stepping back into the 1950s. You know, back in 1910, 1,000 people lived here in Berrigan, New South Wales. And today, well, there's 950. But this is what I love. You have to get out, support and embrace these classic Australiana towns. Now, last year I had the privilege to be invited here to Berrigan in New South Wales, and well, I must have done something right, because this year they have had me back, and things don't get much better than Classic Restos in the bush. So this year, welcome to the 2018 Berrigan Sports Club Show and Shine. Remember last year we featured the Lance Bulldog dancing tractor? Well, it had more jump than far lap and could almost bury itself in the dirt quicker than you could get your slasher out. Well, that German marvel will be pretty hard to top this year, but I know there'll be something to at least equal it in a paddock full of cubic capacity and chrome-plated embellished products. What an atmosphere! Berrigan is your traditional and charming small country town, surrounded by rich agricultural land known for its rice production, vineyards, maize, grapefruit, potatoes, cherries, tomatoes and dairy cattle. The primary appeal of the town is the way that it has held its tradition.
The Berrigan Show and Shine came about in 2014, so 4 years ago, and basically it was the idea from the Berrigan Community Golf and Bowls Club, and it was designed to be a fundraiser for the club to make some money to keep going. A couple of us on the committee put our heads together and thought we might try and run a little car show to make some money for the club. And from our very humble beginnings of about 40 or 50 cars, we've got to what we are today. So in 4 years we've come from 40 or 50 cars to what we have today, and I think it's a great achievement, and I'm quite proud of what the boys have achieved and the helpers we have achieved thus far to get to this. I'm actually amazed, Fletch, with where people are coming from to attend our show. We have people attending from Shepparton, Griffith, Wagga, Echuca, Deniliquin, all over the place, Wodonga, from 200-300 kilometres away, coming just to attend our little show. It's absolutely amazing where the people are coming from. You know, to double our population for a day is just magnificent. It really is quite something to be able to do that. Obviously I can't do that on my own. There's a great team of helpers that make that happen. It's a fantastic team, committee and town effort that makes that happen. It's a great achievement by the local community.
Another important part too of the Berrigan Sports Club Show and Shine each year is of course the swap meet. And traders, if you've got some bits and pieces, you're more than welcome to attend in 2019. It's your chance to get rid of your stuff out of your shed and line it all up, and pots and pans and stuff, and I've even got some old 1910 leather toilet seats behind me. Hey Chris, how you doing?
Not bad, Fletch.
Good, good. I want to know, how much money do you have on these leather toilet seats?
In leather toilet seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, horse collars, mate.
They're horse collars?
Horse collars.
Oh, go around the front of the horse?
That's it, yes.
looks like they shoot you around the back of the horse. Heavy haulage people, if you need your plant and equipment, this is the place you come for that as well. You can branch out into other areas. Now this guy did the Berrigan Show and Shine proud last year with an absolutely delightful XM Falcon Squire wagon. He's back again. How are you, David?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks, Fletch. Yeah, beautiful day again.
That's the way, absolutely, mate. Now, you've still got your wagon?
Oh, my word, yeah, that's not for sale.
Now, David has done the event proud once again because he's rocked up here in 2018 with a 65 XP Ute. 66, David?
66, yeah, very last of the XPs made. It's one of the last 8 made, actually.
I just can't get over your work. Your work is immaculate.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, now give us a quick rundown on what you've done here.
Well, I bought it at a farm sale back many years ago. I sat in the shed for quite a few years while I was doing some house renovations, and then I brought it back out again, and this is what you see today.
Yeah, David, this sounds like a similar story to the Squire wagon, if I can be corrected.
Could well be, yes. It was just sitting in a farmer's shed, and it was a fairly dilapidated state.
You've also got some accessories with this car as well, David. Share those with us.
Well, I have put disc brakes on it, which were an option on the XP model anyway, but not in the Utes, but I used the XP sedan disc brakes. I put air conditioning in it, because I'm a little bit older now.
Nothing wrong with air conditioning.
And a few little things like that.
Yep.
And it's just made it a bit more comfortable to drive.
This is what it's all about. You know, to see a car like this, well, you know, in my opinion, it probably looks a little bit better than how it would have left Ford, with all due respects, back in the day.
Yeah, possibly so. Yeah.
It's like as though, David, you put your own little touches to it just to give it that extra bit of bling, that extra bit of 5.5 star.
Yeah, possibly. It's original colour called sunlit beige, and the original tarp material on the back. A lot of people say it should be black, but it wasn't. It was called the salt and pepper stuff, which is a sort of a charcoal grey.
Yep. You've got the Squire wagon, you've got the XP Ute. Have you got anything else?
Yeah, I've got an XM coupe with a 302 Windsor in it. You know, I'm now working on a 64 compact Fairlane, so hopefully that might be here next year.
So he's a speedy bloke as well. There's no doubt about it, David. Keep up the great work, mate. Absolutely unbelievable. It's one of these vehicles that no matter where you look from, doesn't matter what the angle, it just looks superb all the way around. Almost sacrilege to use it as a commercial vehicle. Obviously, well, those days for this car are now long gone.
Yes, they're long gone. No, she's only a show car now, and just go to swap meets and car shows and things like that.
Yeah.
But I do use it quite a lot. It's on Club Rego. And,
as I alluded to earlier, David, great to see you in 2017, and thank you for your return here 2018. Well done.
thank you, Fletch.
I don't know about you, but I think the extra mile that David has gone to bring this XP Ute to the condition that it is absolutely brilliant. This particular Ute here runs the 200 cubic inch 6-cylinder engine, a Borg-Warner 35 3-speed transmission. It's got a 325 rear gear, and the price tag when new was just over £1,000 for this car in the transitional period of the XR Falcon being released at the same time. And of course, Shannons returns here to Berrigan once again for 2018. Shannons, what do we say? They're like salt. They're in everything. They're the only insurance company that gives back to the classic vehicle fraternity what they do. Why not become a member of the Shannons Club? It's free to join, and if you have anything to do with a classic vehicle club, make sure that's listed on the Shannons Club as well for the world to see. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote and a chat on 134646. And remember, if you have a classic vehicle, it has to be with Shannons.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
Heron Forbes Machinery House has been family owned and operated for over 85 years, and it's easy to see why. And with a range like this,
you cannot go wrong. Planning on welding? Look at these welding tables and clamps. Air compressors and different air tools. Sandblasting cabinets, through to spray guns. Everyone is welcome at Machinery House, and they're also open Saturday mornings. Their range of machine tools are workshop tested. There are competitive freight rates around Australia, and you can buy online at machineryhouse.com.au. So remember, Hare and Forbes has the range. Moving through as we do the 2018 Berrigan Show and Shine. How you doing, Des?
I'm good, thanks, Fletch.
That's good. Time for a bike on today's show. 73 Quacker.
Yes, March 73 Quacker.
What can you tell us about it?
I got it from North Dakota in America. It's original numbers. It's a beautiful bike. It's done 18,000 miles. I've had it for 10, 12 years.
Have you had to do much since you've had it, Des?
It was a good bike anyway when we got it, but we've done a nut and bolt restoration on it and it owes me a lot of money, yeah.
It doesn't matter. As long as you're happy with it and you've got that passion and you love riding it.
Enjoy it and ride it, yes, yes.
Okay, how far do you get back with bikes?
I had them when I was 18 and now I'm just over 60 and I've got two of them back. Yeah, I have a 73 here and I have a 74 Quacker as well at home.
How many offs have you had?
Lots. Yeah, but I won't let them go because they're going up in value big time, yeah. They're very sought after.
I guess it's like a roof tiler, you know. You're not a true roof tiler unless you've had an off.
That's correct, yeah.
Des, I admire you guys and the way that you ride them. This particular Kawasaki here in 900, it's a double overhead cam. I mean, it's a nice looking bike.
It's a nice looking bike. It's 45 years old, but it's a beautiful shape. It's quite a famous bike because it's one of the bikes in the world that was the fastest production bike in 1972-73. Yeah.
I mean, I know bikes of today, the handling is totally different, but in terms of straight line, when you bring it on, is it still pretty grunty for 73?
It's a powerful bike. It's 83 brake horsepower. Yeah. It pulls 135 miles an hour. It revs to 9,000 every gear. It still scares me.
So it's not mucking around, is it?
No, they didn't muck around then. They were a very fast bike for their time. Yeah. Quite revolutionary, yeah.
That's great, Des. Thank you for sharing that with us on today's show. And I mean, I try and support bikes where I can, trucks where I can, and it's an opportunity like this. Budgie has done a wonderful job putting this show on, and like a lot of other shows as well in the regional areas, well, everything's welcome. And that's the beauty of a show like this. You don't know what's going to turn up.
That's correct. Yeah, I read about it and I thought I'd make the drive from Bright.
Yeah, good on you, mate. All right, thanks, Des.
Thanks very much, Fletch.
And I see you've got you like your plug, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And thanks for the tour in America a year and a half ago. Thank you.
That's all right, mate. That's my pleasure. All right. Well, you stay upright, and thanks for coming along and saying hi. And, the Bright event is good, and you enjoy that one when you go there, mate.
Thanks again. Bye-bye. See you.
Thanks, Des. Time for a truck on today's show, and when I say truck, I mean truck. This thing is huge. How you doing, Ken?
Good, thanks, Fletch.
That's the way, mate. Thanks for bringing this along.
That's cool.
Now, the reason I picked on you today, Ken, is this truck, it's huge. It's big. It's in your face. I mean, back in the day, this would have had to have been the biggest truck on the road, surely.
I think Diamond T's were the Pontiacs of trucks years ago when they first came out to Australia back in the 50s, and until the B model Macs come out, they sort of were, you know.
Yeah. And when we mentioned Mac as well, we look at the side profile of the cab. It's very P61, isn't it?
It is, very much so.
Yeah. Now, Diamond T, who were they? They were owned by. Were they owned by what?
They were, I think, by Charles Tilt. He made the Diamond T's. That's what the T stood for Tilt, and the Diamond was for quality.
Yep.
There he sold out to whites in the 50s.
Good to see the Made in USA tag there on the cowl.
Yeah, and the GM badges on it. It looks pretty good.
Now, speaking of which, before we go, I'm going to ask you if you can start it so we can have a listen to it.
I can do that for you, Fletch. Yeah? No problems.
Right. Now, before we do that, I need to know the life of this truck in terms of where did it run interstate back in its day? Do you know that?
Well, apparently a bloke by the name of John Ferguson, I believed he lived in Sydney at the early stages. He bought it in 1970 something, and he had it for over 30 years, and he sort of rebuilt it up to what it is today. Used to run up and down the east coast, even over to Western Australia. I've got photos of it on the train, heading over there for loads on it, so it's been around quite a long time.
It's a single drive too?
Yeah, with a lazy axle. Yeah, he's done all that himself. Yeah.
What an incredible beast. I mentioned earlier how high up it is and in your face. We've got the twin stacks. I mean, it was back in the era where these trucks were just so made. Tell us quickly the type of GM diesel, the make of that, and how many gears in the gearbox?
It's got a 13-speed overdrive gearbox in it with a 2-speed diff. And it's got a 671 turbo motor in it, straight 671, yeah.
All right, Ken, I'll let you be. You must be getting a bit hungry too, mate. The old sausage sandwiches are starting to smell pretty good.
They do, don't
but
they?
before we let you go, if you can give it a kick in the guts for us so we can hear it, that'd be great.
No worries, Fletch.
All right. Thanks, Ken.
Good on you, mate.
All right. Have a listen to this.
My passion for cars began when Nana and Pop bought their new Toyota Crown. It was Nana's, really. She loved that car. We went everywhere in it. My passion now is just the same, even though my cars are a little different. I've still got Nana's car, couldn't part with it. And I reckon if she was here today, she'd be insured with Shannons too.
Call Shannons on 13 46 46. Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
If you have a restoration project, Hare and Forbes has the tools that you need. Look at these restoration products: shrinker stretchers, dollies, mallets, bead rollers, profile gauges, professional panel restoration kits, and so much more. Now I warn you, enter at your own risk because you will end up buying something. So come along to your Cap City store or browse and buy online at machineryhouse.com.au because Hare and Forbes has the range. It's time now for a Holden Ute on today's show. Hello, Mick.
G'day, Fred. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Different old man.
Yeah. May I ask what year you were born?
I was born 1958, 1936.
Wow. So
I'm 81 now.
Isn't that lovely? 81 years of age, and here he is in this beautiful FC Ute. What year model is it?
1958.
Yep.
FC
Yep.
Ute. And we bought a brand new.
Yes, Mick, I was about to say, a little bird told me that you have had this car from day one. What was the dealership? Where did you buy it from?
Wangaratta. Me and my father, we bought it together because we're in the farm.
Yeah.
Has been registered as a primary producer.
Yep.
And still I got another 12 months of primary producer where we pay after registration fees.
So, Mick, was it the fruit and the veg?
No, we used to be tobacco grow.
Yeah.
And dairy farm.
Yeah.
We used to do anything. Cut, fertilize, target calf the market, go and buy pigs to kill for salami. We've done everything you can mention.
See, this is the generation that I have incredible respect for, that came to this country and worked so hard. You bought yourself a brand new Holden. Now, back in that time though, what was it a lot of money?
Just a minute. Before we bought the farm, the Ute, we had the farm.
Yes.
We bought a farm, but in them days the wages was cheaper than now, compared to the dollar. But with the £1, that's $2. Used to go a long way. Than $2 is nothing.
Okay, now Mick, your country of origin is Italy.
Is it Italy? But I'm born in Sicily.
Right. Okay.
Right down the bottom of the boots.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You have to bear with me. I'm just trying to get this right. But what an incredible guy, and to have this Holden for so long. Now, Mick, have you done a restoration? I think you've definitely done a restoration.
Yes. 22 years ago.
Yeah.
We restore it as it today.
Yeah.
It's the original motor, one set rings, and that's it. Everything is original. And you got to put a new battery and the tires. But the rest is all original what used to belong here.
This car, what does it mean to you?
What do you mean to me? All of my generation, all of my life. My kids all alone to drive in this one. I got 4 children, and I got 9 grandchildren, all the fathers. But we've been in a family, and it's been a prestige.
Yeah.
What do you call,
Yeah.
We used to go to Melbourne, right? 3 sit in the front, and 2 sit on the back, and the some box the mother take it to relative or anything.
And Mick, over the years, without us being a silly question, it's been a good car.
Beautiful. Cannot complain. Imagine last time I had nearly 4 months in the shed, went there, turned the key on, 2 pump, and all the wires. It starts the first kick.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Now, Mick, what you tell me? What does Fletch mean in Italian?
Fletch mean put you in the guide. Either left is the destra, Fletch left is sinistra. Sinistra is left, and right is destra.
Oh, that's nice to know. So I'm known as Blinkers.
Blinkers.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much. Been an honour talking with you.
All right. Thank you, Mick. You take care. All right. And of course, today's episode is not complete without a Mopar. How you doing, Buzz?
Yeah, pretty good, Fletch. Yep.
That's the way, mate. A beautiful 1962 and S Series.
Yeah, one of the best on the road. Yeah.
Look, I tell you, when one of these comes along in original condition like this, starting to become hard to find.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one, since I was the age of 18, pretty well when they come on the market, I always had my eye on them, and as a young fella, but it took some 50 years later before I actually started getting real serious about it. And,
we've had quite a few in the history of classic restos. There's lots of different features of this shape Valiant, obviously carrying on from the R model, which they sold 1,008 of, and they went like hotcakes, which launched them into the S Series. Just a few little changes, grille changes from the first model to now. This model as well, of course, the 225 cubic inch slant 6 engine, which was it left the pack for dead. Back in those days.
90 mile an hour off the showroom floor. Yeah, I reckon it'll still do it.
with Buzz behind the wheel, right?
There
you go.
Real nippy.
Buzz, love the car, love the condition. Now, the paint colour, what is it before we go any further?
It's called leaf green.
Right.
It's an original colour.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful too to think that a car can come this far with its original interior? I mean, everyone that's sat there over the years must have had, butts made out of cotton wool.
Oh, God. Yeah, well, as it is, the interior of the car, except for the carpets on the floor, it is original. It's they're in mint condition, all the seats, door trims, everything. Yeah.
Buzz, with the swap meet here today, it looks like you've bought a bike. It's on the back seat there. It's the same era as the car.
Well, actually, it is. It's very close to it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it could be late 50s. It's a 62.
Yeah.
That's for my grandson. I'm going to restore that for him. Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful, Buzz. Pardon the pun, but what was the buzz like on the street back in '62 when these Valiants were released? Now, you would have been a young bloke then. What was it like when you saw one brand new going down the street?
Oh, God, I was wrapped in them. A friend of ours in the family had one, and he just happened to do a little bit of I wouldn't call it a burnout, but he showed the bit of muscle that it had, and from that day on, I sort of, I got more keener, and I always reckoned that one day in my lifetime I'll own one of them, but at the age of 18 I didn't have the cash to buy one, and so as the years went by, and it was about 19 years ago when I acquired this. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I've often said that many times on Classic Restos, to get to that stage of your life and you end up acquiring the vehicle that you can remember when you are like this high. Buzz, I just want to thank you for bringing this beautiful S Series along here today. I think it's lovely to get to that stage of your life where you can get the car that you remember when you were a kid. You represent that so well. You've turned up here today, mate. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Fletch. Yeah, I've enjoyed having a chat with you over it, and this old car, she'll stay in my family.
Yep.
And when I can't drive it no longer, or when I point the toes up, whatever,
Good All right. Okay. You look after the old girl and have fun in restoring that bike you've got in the back there.
Yeah. My little grandson, he's 4.5 now.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, I brought it for him today, and he'll love that. Yeah, a little trike.
Good. Yeah. Thanks, Buzz.
Thank you very much, Fletch. Yep.
Well, there you have it, just some of the 2018 Berrigan Sports Club show and shine. And I'm sure you'll agree, it's a great little event. Try and get here for 2019. It'll be well worth your while. Social media, Facebook, check that out for details to try and get here for next year. It'll be well worth your while. As I say at the end of every episode of Classic Restos, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ClassicRestosTV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Hare and Forbes Machinery House, Pace Farm, Hero Hoists, and Martin's Panel Masters.